Hi, fifth grade. Hope that you're doing well. We're finally gonna start getting into the color part of making our masks, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna quickly go over what we've learned so far so that we can get started a little bit quicker today. We've learned that people wear masks for a variety of reasons. Maybe they're trying to scare someone, maybe it's Halloween, it could be a ritual, religion, it could be for a movie. Or maybe it's to hide their identity, but whatever it is, the reason that people wear masks is because they want to be something else or someone else, at least for one moment. Last time we took a look at some interesting masks from around the world. These may have given you some inspiration for your art, or you may have had your own idea this entire time. We used a layer of newsprint to make our first layer of paper mache. Then we used some copy paper to make our paintable layer. And then we used the iPad to find our images and upload them to the Google Classroom. Hopefully you walked in with a few different things. Hopefully you found your mask. Your name should be on the inside. We have placemats, which you're definitely gonna need. Hopefully you picked up a piece of paper towel and also one paintbrush. We're gonna be painting today. I'm gonna show you my painting expectations. Today, we are going to be painting it one color. Now, I know that your mask may have multiple different colors. This is how I do it every year to make sure that these look really clean and crisp. So we're gonna start off with painting this whole thing one color, and then you're gonna add your other colors next time. So don't worry if you have multiple colors on yours, that's totally fine. Before we begin though, some of you were asking about maybe trimming the edges. You didn't like how kind of cray-cray they look. If you don't like the edges, you can take the scissors and cut it off. Just be careful not to cut like your whole face off. And of course you can go around and trim. If for some reason the scissors on the table aren't working, I do have another pair that I can give you after instructions. So let's take a moment and cut off the sides if we can. And then we're going to move on to learning how to paint it. When you get your paint, if I could get you to please follow the green arrows, I'll be standing over here. I'm gonna help you just for today, getting the colors that you need. Just tell me what color you want. Here's what I have. I got lots of yellows, oranges. If you're doing kind of like a skin tone, I have a peach. If the peach is too light, I have some browns that you can mix with it to make it darker. Magenta, this is basically kind of a pinky purple. Red, green, two different types of blue. I got a light turquoisey blue, and then violet, then just normal blue. Over here, I have your neutrals. It could be white, brown, black. So be thinking about what color you might need for today. So I'm gonna be doing a Black Panther mask. Of course, since it has to be original, there are some things I'm gonna change, but I do wanna keep it the same color, which is kind of this dark black. Also, there's gonna be ears, which I will do another day with cardboard. That's not what I want you to worry about today, but I'm gonna go ahead and get my black paint. I'm going to pour your paint the very first time that you get it, but I'm gonna leave the color up here because at least one point during class, you're probably going to need a little bit more paint to get the coverage that you need. When you do need the paint, turn it upside down with the lid closed, give it a little shake. That's gonna help the paint move to the top and less frustration for you. While it's on its side, open it, and then carefully squeeze about a quarter size out. That should probably get at least half of your mask. And then if you need more, you can obviously come up and get more, but we're using one color today. After a couple minutes, I'm gonna pass out water, but I wanna make this really clear that you don't need the water to activate the paint. The water is just for the last 5 minutes of class for you to put your paintbrush in the water without your paintbrush drying out. So the water is not for the paint, don't mix it up, it's gonna make this gooey mess. This is only for cleaning the brush at the very end. So I'm probably only gonna put 1 cup per table because we won't need that much. But obviously you've painted before if you've been in my class. You just gotta dip. If there's a lot of excess, maybe let it drip a little bit and just go for it. Now this black paint's pretty good, but some of my colors are kind of translucent. Translucent means when you put it on, you can kind of see through it. So I don't know, that's a good spot for translucent. We wanna make these opaque. Opaque means that you can't see the paper underneath. So you're gonna have to work in layers. You might put a thin layer down here, and then as this is drying, you might wanna put another layer on top just to make it opaque. Because these are going in the hallway. I do want people to know how talented you guys are. So make sure that you are adding different layers of that same color so that these look really nice and clean and crisp and cool. I do want you to do the whole thing. The reason we have the placemats is so that you can get those tough to reach sides without worrying about getting it on the table. These are meant to be worked on. So remember, this is kind of the only place in the school where you can make yourself a little mess as long as you clean it up. So I'm about halfway done, and I'm starting to run out of the paint. So at any time, whenever you need more, you are obviously allowed to go back and get more paint. You don't even need to ask me. The only thing that I ask you do is that whenever you leave the paintbrush unattended, that you stick it in the water so it doesn't dry out, because these are my only brushes and I can't afford any more. When you need more paint, just follow the green arrows and your color should still be out there. Pick it up, give it a little shake, open it on its side. Gentle, gentle, gentle. I think I just need a little drop. Your paintbrush should be in the water. Just give it a little, let it drip, and swirl usually will help it get cleaned. Dry your brush, because you don't want the water mixing with the paint, and then you can try again. So anytime that you have to leave the brush unattended, I ask that you put it in the water. Now, if it's gonna be something super quick, like you just need to blow your nose, it's not a big deal. But if you're gonna leave or use the restroom, I expect you to put it in the water just because I need to keep these brushes from drying out. These brushes are already old enough. Okay, so it looks like I'm about done. However, I'm noticing that there's some spots that are going up a little bit translucent. Before you think you're done, if you could just do a scan and double check and make sure that every spot that should be covered is covered. Okay, so I think that'll do it. Since I'm done, I can now place my paintbrush in the water, give it a little swirl. You can take this water, follow the green arrows. All you need to do is just put it in the sink. You don't even need to clean it out. I'm gonna have the next class do that. Paper towel, don't even need it, just throw it away. Move your paint tray out of the way for now, and then you do this with two hands. I'm gonna do it with one hand because I'm holding a Giganto iPad in the other hand. And if you could please just place the placemat on the back counter so I can keep it away from kindergarten. Okay, now here's the most important thing so that I can keep these paint trays clean. It'll be your responsibility to clean this out. You're gonna come over to either this sink or this sink. These sinks are for cleaning the paint trays and cleaning paint brushes. What you're gonna do is just turn on the water, not all the way because that's crazy water. Turn it down to its lowest setting. Now, if you were here last year, you already know how to clean these out, but basically what we do is we take all these big old Giganto brushes and we use them as paint tray cleaners. So what I do is I just place the paint tray under that low stream of water. If this is going on high, guess who's gonna get sprayed? You. Take this big old brush, just do some big circles. This should only take a few seconds, and clean out that one area where you had paint. But if you see any spots, if you could get those from me, that would be great. All right, so it looks pretty clean. Just give it a little shake and then leave it face up over here. Please do not stack them. They need to dry on their own. And then of course, turn off the water, leave this Giganto paintbrush somewhere nearby so the next person can use it. My hands are dirty. I'm gonna use a wet wipe to clean them and then clean the table. Then, of course, take the wet wipe, clean your hands, get those nasty fingernails, your nasty fingers, get all that nasty paint. Don't leave any of this paint on your skin. It can go bad. There's basically bacteria. All right, and then, of course, clean the table. Even if it's not dirty, give it a nice cleaning. And then you can choose a new activity. All right, guys, have a good day.